Today, we're diving into one of One Piece's biggest mysteries, the possibility that Luffy's ultimate dream is to establish a kingless country. I'll be sharing some jaw-dropping evidence to explore this theory. It turns out, Luffy's goal might not just be becoming the Pirate King, but something far more grand and unexpected. Imagine if Luffy's true aim isn't just to be any pirate king, but to create an entirely new, kingless country. How would this objective reshape the entire narrative? We'll also delve into the idea that Imu might be more than just the ruler of the world, perhaps even its creator. If this theory resonates with you, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Got a different opinion or theory? I'm all ears. Drop it in the comments. Heads up, there are spoilers up to One Piece chapter 1086, so be warned. Now, let's get right into it. Understood. The world is as the Creator wishes. Saint Marcus Mars. In chapter 1086, Saint Marcus Mars refers to Imu as the Creator. This reveals that Imu isn't just the king of the world, but also a being called the Creator. Let's dive into what this title means. 800 years ago, 20 kings won the battle during the Void Century and established the world government. They could be said to have created this world, placing Imu, who reigns supreme over the world government, as the Creator. In the series, we've seen several references to the ancestors of the Celestial Dragons, the original 20 kings, as creators of the world. The 20 weapons guarding the throne are the vow made 800 years ago by the first 20 who created this world. Elder. In chapter 907, during the Reverie arc, an elder explains the empty throne to Steri. The descendants of the Creator are the Celestial Dragons. Don Quixote Doflamingo. In chapter 722, Doflamingo's line implies that the 20 kings created the world. However, Dr. Vegapunk Shaka states the 20 kingdoms then established the world government and built the world of today. In chapter 1066, Dr. Vegapunk Shaka, and in chapter 497, Papag's lines are noted differently. The word create is replaced with the kanji for manipulate or fabricate. This suggests a difference in perception of the phrase created the world among individuals. Those who affirm the world government's regime tend to use the word create more often. Conversely, those critical of the world government's regime, like Vegapunk and Papag, a fishman, tend to use kanji that imply manipulation. The Creator, referred to by the five elders, could be interpreted as the one who made the world as it is today. 800 years ago, he created this world. Among the first 20 was a king named Imu, from the Nerona family. Emporio Ivankov. In chapter 1086, Ivankov, a high-ranking member of the Revolutionary Army, declares war on the world government. Although Ivankov is critical of the world government, he uses the phrase created the world, showing there are exceptions. This leads us to interpret the term creator used by the five elders to refer to Imu in two ways. Imu could be seen as the one who created the current world, or as the creator of something else entirely. So, what could Imu have created? There are two main possibilities, the world itself or the five elders. Let's examine each of these. There are four main pieces of evidence suggesting that Imu created the world. 1. The meaning of the term creator. 2. The origin of the Pangaea Castle. 3. The power that defeated a certain kingdom. 4. The name Nero M. Let's delve into each of these. Firstly, about the term creator. In Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, the Creator is believed to have created the heavens and the earth. In Hindu mythology, Brahma, one of the three principal deities, is said to have created the fundamental principles of the universe. Generally, the term creator refers to a being that created the world itself. So, if we take this word at face value, it implies that Imu is a god who created the world of One Piece. If the five elders' use of creator carries this meaning, it suggests that Imu is the entity that created the world of One Piece and the blue planet it is set on. Next, let's talk about the origin of Pangaea Castle. Imu resides in Pangaea Castle, which, as author Ichiro Oda confirmed in Volume 91's SBS, is named after the Pangaea supercontinent. This supercontinent existed on Earth over 200 million years ago, and the current 6 continents are believed to have split from it. This implies that the term Pangaea represents the Earth itself. If we assume that the world of One Piece is set on a blue planet, then the fact that Imu lives in Pangaea Castle suggests that their existence is synonymous with the original blue planet. Hence, it wouldn't be a stretch to consider Imu as the world's creator. Next up, let's discuss the power that defeated that certain kingdom. This guy is the legendary Iron Giant who allegedly attacked the Holy Land of Mary Joie about 200 years ago. Moreover, it was made 900 years ago. Dr. Vegapunk Shaka. According to Dr. Vegapunk in Chapter 1067, the Iron Giant in Egghead was created 900 years ago. The fact that something of this caliber was made 900 years ago suggests that that certain kingdom with advanced civilization was behind its creation. Even with my scientific capabilities, there are parts I can't replicate. It's hard to believe this mechanical soldier was made 900 years ago. Dr. Vegapunk Shaka. The mechanical soldier is so advanced that even the world's genius, Dr. Vegapunk, can't replicate it. This means the scientific capabilities of that certain kingdom surpassed even Dr. Vegapunk's. Moreover, any information including technological advancements related to that certain kingdom has been erased by the world government. Thus, our current civilization is a product of 800 years of evolution from the civilization of the 20 kingdoms. There's an 800-year gap between the certain kingdom and the 20 kingdoms. And given this vast time span, there's an overwhelming technological difference between them, even when considering the genius of Dr. Vegapunk. How advanced was that certain kingdom's technology? We can make some assumptions by comparing it to our current technological capabilities. Modern weapons showcasing our latest tech include Seraphim and the Mother Flame introduced in Chapter 1086. Regarding Mother Flame, Dragon mentions Vegapunk doesn't create blatant killing tools. However, the 5 elders and Imu who possess the Mother Flame have mentioned it was created by Vegapunk. From this, it's almost certain that Vegapunk created it, although it's not explicitly stated. Seraphim, on the other hand, seems to be a clone created from the lineage factors of the 7 warlords and the Lunaria tribe, equipped with a replicated devil fruit called Green Blood. It's so powerful that even 4 emperors like Blackbeard or Luffy can't easily defeat it. The Mother Flame, in contrast, has the power to obliterate the Rarushia kingdom in one blow. These are the capabilities of weapons created by the current technology. However, I theorize that the certain kingdom, with technology surpassing even Dr. Vegapunk, had even more advanced weapons. Yet, the 20 kingdoms, in addition to their weaponry, had the power of Joy Boy, who possessed the Devil Fruit, human model, mythical beast, Modal Nika. The fact that they defeated that certain kingdom with him implies the 20 kingdoms had forces greater than that certain kingdom. Considering the overwhelming civilization represented by the hard-to-defeat Seraphim and Kaido's Boro Breath, even 4 Emperor-level powers, the Mother Flame, stands as a monumental feat. So, if we're talking about a power surpassing a civilization with such might as that certain kingdom, could it be that it's not about devil fruits or hockey, but rather the power of Imu, the creator of the world? Finally, let's talk about the name Nerona Imu. In Chapter 1086, Ivankov speculated that Imu might actually be Saint Imu, a member of the Nerona family, one of the 20 kings who founded the world government 800 years ago. And it seems pretty clear that Ivankov's hunch is right. Nerona's Saint Imu and Imu are indeed the same person. Now, there's a popular theory about the name Nerona Imu making rounds on social media. In the name Nerona, the ni character indicates a left side of kanji, of God, and combine ro and na, you get the right side of kanji, God. And if you squeeze Imu from both sides, it forms the kanji character for Buddha. So, Nerona Imu can be read as God Buddha. I looked up the meanings of God and Buddha. In Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, God is a being transcending humans, while in Buddhism, God is distinguished from Buddha and is considered an embodiment or guardian of Buddha and Bodhisattvas. Buddha, on the other hand, is a saint who has attained complete enlightenment in Buddhism. But when Imsama spoke with King Cobra, there were moments when his tone intensified, just like a human. This seems a bit different from the image of an enlightened saint, doesn't it? However, Imu is a special existence, even among the 20 kings who supposedly created the empty throne to prevent the rise of a sole dictator and ensure equality. And Imu possesses an unidentified power that's distinct from all the devil fruit abilities we've seen so far. Considering all this, could it be that Imu is a transcendent being akin to a god? Or Buddha? And if Ima is indeed the creator of the five elders, it makes sense why they refer to him as the creator and exhibit absolute loyalty. Moreover, if the five elders were created by Imu, then they are not human. So, if the five elders are non-human creations, then it supports the idea that Imu is their creator. Let's delve into why the five elders might be considered created beings. There are four main reasons. 1. They appear to be ageless. 2. They seemingly lack conqueror's haki. 3. They appear to be devoid of desires. 4. Their origins are unknown. Let's explore these points further. First up, let's tackle the idea that they might be ageless. The appearance of the five elders hasn't changed a bit from 22 years ago when we saw them in Robin's flashback. Given that they're the highest authority in the world government, it's safe to assume the five elders have top-notch security. The fact that they have scars suggests that they might indeed be ageless. And if they are ageless, it's likely they've undergone the immortality operation of the op-op fruit. Don Quixote do Flamingo once said, "The op-op fruit can grant any wish if wielded by a person with true talent. Some even call it the ultimate devil fruit." From Doflamingo's statement in chapter 761, we know that the ultimate procedure of the op-op fruit, the immortality operation, requires someone with exceptional talent. While it's unclear what level of talent is needed, given its reputation, it probably demands significant skill or aptitude. So, having a disposable person eat the op-op fruit and perform the immortality surgery seems improbable. Moreover, to make multiple people immortal, you'd need to find the op-op fruit each time it reincarnates somewhere in the world. Considering all this, it's possible that the five elders were born hundreds of years apart. It would be odd for all five of them to appear as elderly men from the same era. Thus, there's a chance that, while they're ageless, the five elders haven't undergone the op-op fruit's immortality surgery. Could it be that the five elders were creatures created by Imu? Next, let's discuss why they might lack Conqueror's Haki. In chapter 1085, during the battle between Sabo and the five elders, even after taking hits from Sabo, the five elders didn't seem too damaged. Even though he was outnumbered, Sabo, who had previously held his own against Navy admirals, was on the back foot. This suggests the five elders are pretty powerful. Given their strength, it's natural to assume they possess haki. However, they didn't notice when Sabo and Wapol spied on their meeting with King Cobra. They also let Sabo escape. This might mean that all five of them lack observation haki, or even any form of haki at all. Silver's Raleigh once explained in chapter 597, haki is a power latent in all humans. Presence, fighting spirit, intimidation. It's not different from these senses every human has. Considering all 5 of the 5 elders, who should naturally have the ability to use haki, might not be able to. This suggests they aren't humans, but created beings. Next up, let's dive into why they seem to lack desires. Typical celestial dragons are known for their strong desires, like wanting rare creatures like mermaids, having many wives, or owning slaves. However, the 5 elders, also presumed to be celestial dragons, seem to act solely for the stability of the world government's rule, and to fulfill Imu's wishes. They seem to have no personal desires at all. If the 5 elders are indeed ageless, living for hundreds of years could have dulled their various desires. They might have already satisfied all possible desires and, with no end to their lives, have no remaining unsatisfied wants. But Imu, also presumed ageless, shows curiosity by wanting to test Mother Flame, and seems to have a desire or possessiveness towards Vivi. Unlike the 5 elders, Imu clearly has desires. This suggests that even with agelessness, the absence of desires isn't a given. Just like with haki, the lack of desires in the 5 elders, who are supposedly human, hints that they might not be humans, but rather created beings. Lastly, let's talk about their mysterious origins. As we discussed, the 5 elders are likely ageless. But if that's the case, as the highest authority in the world government, established by the victorious 20 kings from the Void Century, they should be one of those 20 kings. However, it's likely they're not. In chapter 1086, Ivankov hinted at the possibility that Imu and one of the 20 kings, Saint Imu from Nero, might be the same person. But this wasn't mentioned about the 5 elders, whose names seem to be public knowledge worldwide. It would be strange if all 5 shared the names of the 20 kings. This raises the possibility that they're using pseudonyms. Yet, one of the 5 elders, wearing a kimono and carrying a sword, has features reminiscent of Wano country. The name Ethan Baron v. Nojoro contains Joro, similar to Zorojoro or Sangaro from Wano. The consistency between the name and appearance suggests their names are real, not pseudonyms. Therefore, while they appear ageless, the 5 elders likely aren't the 20 kings. This leads to the possibility that they were created by Imu at some point during the Void Century. Given all this, it's highly likely that the 5 elders aren't humans. Additionally, their names include those of planets in the solar system: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. But the remaining Uranus, Neptune, and the dwarf planet Pluto correspond to the names of the ancient weapons. With the sun representing Nika, the 5 elders could be considered special beings similar to these. Moreover, with titles like Minister of Justice and Minister of Agriculture, they seem to be divine beings created by Imu, the king of the world. Let's dive into what we can infer, considering Imu as the creator. I want to look at this from 2 perspectives. 1. If Imu was the creator of the world. And 2. If Imu was the creator of the 5 elders. If Imu indeed created the world, it makes sense for him to reign at the pinnacle of the world government, even if he's a top secret existence. Moreover, if he crafted the OnePiece universe, it's likely he had a hand in the birth of the supernatural powers and devil fruits. We saw how he could neutralize Sabo's attacks using the flame fruit's power. For the same reasons as the 5 elders, Imu is believed not to possess haki. Yet, he was able to penetrate through Sabo, a Logia user. This could be due to Imu's involvement with the mysterious devil fruit powers. This suggests that the shape-shifting ability shown in chapter 1085 might not be from a zone-type devil fruit. Sabo comments, "Hell is at the top of the world," seeing Imu and 5 elders. This hints that the form we saw might be Imu's true visage as the world's creator. Now, let's touch on Imu's capabilities. Apart from the incident with Sabo and King Cobra in the throne room, we never saw Imu directly exert his power. And, when considering the power of Nika, who's referred to as a god, it can be speculated that Imu's power is currently diminished for some reason. In the One Piece world, we have ancient weapons like Poseidon and the Tremor fruit, which can sink the world into the sea. If Imu is the world's creator, he should possess power beyond that of Poseidon and the Tremor fruit. Yet, he couldn't completely take down Sabo, who's just the number 2 of the Revolutionary Army. This suggests that Imu, despite being the powerful world creator, might currently be unable to use his full power. Thus, he likely reigns atop the world government, controlling vast forces like the Navy and CP at will. In this scenario, we see actions like testing the Mother Flame in the Lulusia Kingdom, which has many lights and people that should be erased from history. No matter how cruel or inhumane Imu's commands, the Five Elders obey without question. It's understandable seeing the Five Elders, who appear to be quite powerful, showing some unwavering loyalty to Imu. In chapter 1085, the Five Elders pointed guns and swords at King Cobra. However, considering their transformed size, these weapons seem to be for their human forms. But if the Five Elders had devil fruit powers or were incredibly powerful, they wouldn't need such weapons. Most pirates who carry guns and swords don't have special abilities. Moreover, fighters like Kaido and King mostly combine their abilities with weapons. It feels odd that the Five Elders carry weapons usable only in their human forms. But there's a theory if the Five Elders were created by Imu, they might be transforming due to Imu's power. This would explain why they all carry guns and swords, perhaps as weapons or for self-defense in their human forms. Could it be that they all transform simultaneously because of Imu's power? As for Imu's abilities, in chapter 1085, he unleashed an attack resembling a devil's tail and showcased transformational skills. This indicates he might have more than just the power to create beings like the Five Elders. This would mean that each of them has several completely different capacities. It's possible that Imu has power related to the origin of devil fruits. He could also have found a way to consume multiple devil fruits, which are typically limited to one per person. I suspect there are more abilities not shown in Sabo's battle. If the Five Elders were created by Imu and still remain under his control, then defeating them might require a different approach. Luffy and his team, who will eventually face the Five Elders. Luffy and his crew, before mastering Haki, struggled greatly against Logia users, whose attacks couldn't be touched. Similarly, it's anticipated they'll have a tough time fighting the Five Elders. Emporio Ivankov once mentioned, there's an ability out there that grants immortality, but someone must have proven it, right? In chapter 1086, as Ivankov said, we wouldn't know about the immortality surgery and the surgeon's subsequent death unless someone had proven it in the past. If the Five Elders were beings created by Imu, their immortality might be due to them not being human. Thus, the one who might have undergone the immortality surgery in the past could very likely be Imu. To summarize, we've discussed the possibility of Imu being the creator, both in terms of the world and the Five Elders. Despite being a concealed entity, the reason Imu sits at the pinnacle of the world government might be his weakened state, relying on forces like the Navy. Considering the weight of the term creator, among the two possibilities discussed, it's more plausible that Imu is the world's creator rather than just the Five Elders. Earlier, we delved into the possibility of Imu being the creator of the world and potentially weakened. However, it's almost certain that Imu, as a prime final boss candidate and the world government, will eventually clash with Luffy and his crew. So, it's unlikely that Imu would confront them in a weakened state. Rather, he might regain his strength somehow before the battle. In Christianity and Islam, it is believed that at the world's end, God, the creator who once rested after creating heaven and earth, will return. Drawing from this, Imu's regaining power could signify the world's end. But it's hard to imagine the story of One Piece concluding with the world's end. Also, no past references in the series perfectly match this scenario. What we can theorize is that after the battle with Imu, the world might face destruction and be reborn anew. There are two main reasons for this belief: the transition from Drum Kingdom to Sakura Kingdom, and the philosophy of Hinduism. Let's delve into each. Firstly, regarding Drum Kingdom and Sakura Kingdom, in chapter 145, Dalton expressed, "I see the path this country must take. Its destruction." He declared that the dictatorship-led Drum Kingdom deserved to be destroyed. Later, it did perish and was reborn as Sakura Kingdom. This principle of a rotten nation needing to be destroyed and reborn could apply to the world as a whole. The world, under the world government, might need to perish and be reconstructed from its ruling system to its very nature. Moving on to Hinduism. Just like Christianity and Islam, Hinduism believes in a creator of the world. But there's a unique concept here. The universe goes through repeated cycles. While Hinduism is primarily practiced in India, OnePiece has introduced settings inspired by Indian mythology. A notable example? Luffy, our main character, is modeled after Hanuman, the monkey god from Indian mythology. Here are three commonalities between Luffy and Hanuman. 1. Luffy's move to defeat Kaido, called Bazooka of the Monkey God. 2. Both Hanuman and Luffy sport outfits where the top is red and the bottom is blue. 3. Hanuman's unique ability to change his appearance and his 5 faces. Given these references to India in One Piece, we can anticipate more elements inspired by Indian tales in the future. Drawing from the cyclical universe concept in Hinduism, the world of One Piece might face destruction and be reborn. This leads us to the possibility that after Emi, the world's creator, is defeated, the world of One Piece might perish and be recreated. But the rebirth here doesn't mean the end of the world government and the rise of a new one. Instead, the current world, divided into 4 sections by the red line and the calm belt, might merge to form the all blue. This suggests a major shift in the world's geography and the possible fall of Emi, the figurehead of the world government. So what can we expect? Probably an era centered around freedom, where the very idea of dominance vanishes from people's minds. A new political structure might emerge. Essentially, there could be a complete transformation in the world's structure, its geography, and people's ideologies. Let's also ponder on the existence of powers that can reshape the world other than the creator. Powers like Poseidon or the Tremor fruit, which can potentially destroy the world. Like these, there are forces that can influence the world itself. So, there's a high chance that forces capable of reshaping the world do exist. With Emu's defeat, it seems a new creator will emerge. That new creator? Monkey D. Luffy. There are 2 main reasons for this. Number 1, power of Devil Fruit, and 2, Sakura Kingdom and Dalton. Let's dive into them. First, Luffy's Devil Fruit power, the human fruit, mythical zone model Nika. It's named after a god and allows one to fight with the power of imagination. Among the powers we've seen, it has the highest potential to remake the world. Also, this particular devil fruit eluded the world government for 800 years. If it indeed holds the power to create worlds, it could mean it was evading Emu himself. Now, about Sakura Kingdom and Dalton. Taking the case of Sakura Kingdom, a rotten country should perish and be reborn. This principle might apply not just to countries, but to the world itself. Just as Drum Kingdom became Sakura Kingdom, the world might be reborn. Dalton, the new king of Sakura Kingdom, initially resisted becoming king. Similarly, Luffy saved countries like Alabasta and Dressrosa from Crocodile and Doflamingo, but shunned the hero's role. This leads to the possibility that Luffy might become the new creator, replacing Emu. And what kind of world might he create? A kingdom without a king, I believe. Remember, in episode 589, Luffy and Ace built huts named Luffy's Country and Ace's Country in front of Daden's house. This might foreshadow the creation of a real country. Considering if this was the end of Luffy's dream, people in the One Piece world might find the idea laughable because, traditionally, a country is supposed to have a king. But imagine a country without a king. It could change the very concept of a country, erasing notions of class, race, and dominance. A brand new world might be born. So, what do you think of this theory? That's all for today. This channel posts summaries, explanations, and ranking videos related to One Piece. If you like One Piece, we would be happy if you could support us by subscribing to our channel and commenting. Thank you for watching till the end. See you in the next video.